stand now. Okay. Anyways, let's stop goofing. So I think it's safe to assume that most, if not all of you, have goals you want to achieve. But most of those goals probably sound pretty generic and something like, I want to be rich, or I want to be famous, or I want to have my own company. And if you're watching this video, you probably fall into one of two categories. Either A, you have no idea where to begin to actually start achieving your goals, or B, you keep trying and trying and trying, but you're not getting any closer to actually achieving them. In this video, we'll go over some tried and true methods that will help you on your journey to achieving your goals. And yes, some of the stuff you're going to hear in this video is going to sound very obvious, but sometimes it takes another person telling you this obvious stuff before you actually head down the right path. And hopefully I can be that right person today. And as a disclaimer, I just want to say that I also have a lot of big goals that I want to achieve, and I'm still very far from achieving most of them. But ever since I started applying these methods, I've been getting closer and closer, and I've been feeling a lot better about the goals I've set for myself. But before we dive in, I want you to do a little exercise. Instead of thinking about how to achieve your goals, think about what does it even mean to achieve them and why do you want to achieve them? For example, if your goal is to become rich, what does that even mean? Do you want to be able to afford a Ferrari and go on an expensive trip every month or so? Or do you want to be financially independent and not have to rely on a single source of income to pay your bills? Or maybe it's even simpler than that, and you just want to be able to afford a house without worrying about if you're going to be able to pay your bills or not. But also make sure to think about why you want to achieve your goals. The answer to these two questions, the what does it mean and the why you want to achieve your goals, will help you with some of the things we're going to talk about in the video today, and they will also help keep you motivated on that upcoming goal achieving journey. Okay, so story time. When I was younger, I never did this exercise until a friend of mine actually kind of sat me down digitally and told me to do this exercise for myself. And I was kind of surprised because I always thought I knew what I was doing and I knew the steps I needed to take to achieve these goals. But when I came back to him, I didn't have a good answer. I didn't know what it even meant to achieve my goals. I didn't know why I wanted to achieve my goals until he actually asked me. And after I sat down and did this exercise, I've started thinking differently about how to achieve my goals. So I mean it. Pause the video and do this exercise right now. Write it down. What does it mean and why do you want to achieve it? Okay, so hopefully you're back and you have a different perspective than you did before. So now we can actually dive in. The first thing you should be doing when setting personal goals that you'll actually achieve is setting goals you're interested in. And yes, I know this sounds super obvious, but there is no shortage of people who set goals based on their peers or based on their parents or some role model. And just because your role model or peers are doing something that you might find interesting doesn't mean you should copy them, because you might not actually be interested in the thing that they're trying to achieve. Instead, it's really important to focus on goals that you're actually interested in because it'll help you stay motivated on that journey. It's also the reason why I asked you the why question in the earlier exercise. If your only answer sounds something like, because my parents want me to do this, then oh boy, you are setting your goals for the wrong reasons. The next thing you should be doing when setting personal goals that you actually want to achieve is writing them down. Writing down your goals is a great way to mentally commit to them. And in my previous video, I said that you should only write down 1 to 2 goals each day that you want to achieve, and that's still the case. But for longer term goals like the ones we're talking about in this video, you have to write them down to help you stay organized and have something to look back on when you're reviewing your goals, which we're going to talk about in a bit. So a lot of these goals that you're probably setting for yourselves are very big and very unwieldy. And that brings us to the next tip, and that's break large goals into smaller ones. If your goal seems like it's going to take longer than a day, break it down into smaller ones that are easier to plan for on a daily cadence. Having some structure will help you achieve your goals, and breaking big goals into smaller ones is a step on that road to having structure. But having structure brings us to the next point, and that's you should be setting your goals in the SMART goal framework. But before we dive into what SMART goals are, make sure to subscribe for more great content. I'll be making videos regularly on how to stay motivated, how to get productive, how to set and achieve your goals, and if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. So what are SMART goals? Yes, these goals could be considered SMART, but that's not what this actually is. SMART goals is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. You can think of SMART as basically a tool that will help you structure your goals in a way that will make them more achievable. I'll go into more depth about what SMART goals are in a future video, so if I've posted that video already, you'll see a card pop up in one of these corners. It's really important to have some sort of framework for planning your goals. And if you look at our previous example of I want to be rich, it easily falls apart when you put it into the context of SMART goals. I want to be rich doesn't seem to satisfy any of the SMART goal criteria. It's not specific because what does it even mean to be rich? It's not measurable because it's not specific. And if you don't know when you've achieved it, then it's not achievable. It's also not relevant because being rich or famous is more of an end state and long-term objective than it is an actual goal. And finally, it's not time-based because you haven't set a time frame for which you want to achieve that goal. A better, but still not perfect goal, definitely not perfect goal, would be I want to be a millionaire by the age of 30. That's a little bit more specific, and it's also a little bit more time-based and something that you can actually work towards. But like I said, I'm going to go into more depth about SMART goals in a future video, so stay posted for that. The next thing you should be doing when setting goals you actually want to achieve is reviewing your goals. What's the point of writing down your goals? What's the point of having this beautiful framework you're going to make your goals against if you're not going to review them at a regular interval? Now, don't go and review these goals every single day, but about once a month is a good interval. Reviewing your progress will allow you to know when things aren't working and change your methods to try and get them to work. Reviewing your progress can also boost your motivation if things are going better than you expected, and it'll also kind of help you align your daily goals and act as a compass for when you kind of start to stray off that big objective path. And finally, our last big tip is don't give up. I hate seeing people who are super passionate about something give up after one or two tries. It kills me. And I've done it many times in the past. And when I think back to all the times I've given up on a big goal I had, I think about the fact that I would be so much farther if I hadn't given up than I am actually today. If you're feeling a little demotivated, maybe take a break. Maybe you're feeling a little burnt out, take a break, but don't give up. And I'm hoping that if you follow these tips that I talked about in this video, it will help you stay motivated and stay kind of on the right track to achieving your goals. So just don't give up. Okay, I also have a bonus tip, but I don't recommend this to everyone, especially if you get demotivated very easily. And this bonus tip is to basically set some stretch goals. When you're setting goals and you're actually achieving them, try to set goals that will push you a little harder, that will make you think outside the box and get a little bit creative. You know, you want to be improving on a regular basis, and there's no better way to keep yourself improving than to set stretch goals. But also be careful when setting stretch goals because we don't want to be setting goals that are too big and unachievable because that can also be very demotivating. For example, if you have a blog that earns you, let's say $500 a month, don't go ahead and set a stretch goal of next month I want to earn $20,000. Instead, set a stretch goal that is more like next month I want to earn $750. And I know this sounds super obvious, but you have no idea how many people listen to things like the Grant Cardone 10X rule, which I'm sort of a fan of, but not a huge fan of. And they listen to these motivational blogs where you should always be pushing yourself to the highest limit you can push yourself. And they set these giant goals that in the end up demotivating them. So set stretch goals, but know what's achievable. Okay, so we've gone to the end. If you made it this far, I just want to ask you one more time, please subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate every single sub. I love making content like this that hopefully motivates you, makes you more productive, and helps you achieve your goals. And if you guys have any other ideas for how to set goals and actually achieve them that I didn't list in this video, I'd be super interested in hearing them, so make sure to leave a comment below. But anyways, until next time, stay motivated. Okay, so I'm still unsure of how to record these videos. I keep wanting to make like a nice setup that allows me to quickly get set up and actually start recording a video. I'm kind of liking this. I'm looking at how the video looks. It's a little bit of colors, a little bit of pink right here, a little bit of purple. I'm liking it. You can see the Godfather movie poster in the background. You don't really see too much of the Goodfellas poster, but I'm liking it. But bear with me. I feel like every video for the next like 10 to 100 videos is going to look completely different, but I'm trying to get to a consistent state that I really like, so bear with me. But anyways, like I said, see you guys next time. Stay motivated.